Are we united? Yes! As he said, my name is Assemblyman Phil Ramos. I am the Deputy Speaker of the New York State Assembly. But today, I don't come before you as your Assemblyman. Not just as an elected official, but as a father, as a son of Puerto Rican parents, as a proud Latino, and as a lifelong resident of this community. A community that I have dedicated my whole life to serving. And today I speak to you as a man who has had enough. Enough fear, enough of the lies, enough of watching families being treated like criminals. What we saw last week in Los Angeles, the ICE raid, backed by military force, citizens taken in the dark of night, that's not a distant tragedy. It is our reality now. Right here in our town, right here in our backyard. That nightmare is continuing. In Brentwood, a beloved member of this community was taken by ICE. She wasn't hiding, she was working. She was raising 5 beautiful children. Now, those 5 children cry themselves to sleep every night, crying for their mother's love, without knowing if they will ever see their mother again. In Central Islip, 2 brothers who built their lives here, were raised here, paid taxes here, believed in this country, were ripped from their homes and sent to a country that they don't even know. In their hearts, their hearts remain in America, but their bodies are in exile right now because of this president. And I could go on and on. Lives changed forever. Trauma spreading through our community like a dagger in the hearts of our people. People in our neighborhoods are afraid to go to work, afraid to walk into a courthouse, afraid to be simply seen. This is not democracy. This is not safety. This is fascism. This is un-American. The very fabric of our nation is being torn apart. And what does Donald Trump do? He threw himself a $45 million birthday party. Let that sink in. Yeah, you're right, no one showed up. A North Korean style military parade in our nation's capital. On the same day that our communities are under siege. That is not leadership. This is not patriotism. It's cruelty disguised as policy. So let me be crystal clear. To every ICE agent hiding behind that mask, hiding behind that badge, I say to you, your orders are illegal. Your mission is immoral. And to every politician who stays silent, to every elected official that hides their heads like cowards, I say to you, you are complicit. If you are not behind us, you are in our way. And now, if it couldn't get worse, on Long Island, Latino U.S. citizens are being stopped and asked to produce their papers as if we were in Nazi Germany, simply because they look undocumented. This is not justice. That is harassment, and that is unconstitutional. And I say this as someone who has spent over 20 years as a police officer. No American, especially not here in New York, should ever have to prove their right to exist in their own neighborhoods.
Being brown is not a crime.
And while all this is happening, while 1% of our country hoards 99% of the wealth, they have the nerve to point the finger at us, to tell us that we're the problem, that we are taking something from them. The ones who pick the crop somehow are taking something from them. The ones who build their homes, who raise their children, somehow they're the problem. But the billionaires who have more than 99% of the wealth, they're not the problem. But we know the truth. We know the truth. We know that immigrants are not the problem. Immigrants are the backbone of this country. We are the lifeline of this economy. We are the soul of this nation, and we are not going anywhere. So today, So today, as we march, just as our heroes before, arm in arm in Selma, at Stonewall, through the fields of Delano, the ordinary farmers who locked arms with Cesar Chavez, let us be guided by their courage. Let us be fueled by their passion. Let us stand together, not in fear, but in power. And to the Trump administration, I say to you, you might have tanks, you might have tear gas, you might have propaganda, you may be proud, and you might have the Proud Boys and the KKK, but we have the truth. We have the law. And most importantly, we have the people. Let me say this loud and clear. We are not guests in this country. 30% of this country was speaking Spanish when the first English-speaking settlers came to this country. We are not guests here. We built this country. And we will not be deported from what we have helped create. So let us rise. Let us march. Let us organize until no child cries behind a chain link fence, until no mother is torn from her children, until no human being is treated as if they are disposable. And yes, years from now the book will be written in the textbooks that our children and grandchildren will read. That book will be written, and they will look back on this dark chapter, and they will call this administration what it truly was: a wannabe dictator, abuse of power, a stain on an inhuman treatment against hard-working people. But in that same book, right next to those pages of pain, there will be another chapter in that book. A chapter born right here in Brentwood, born in New York and across the nation. A chapter where the people rose up, where they stood up against the tyranny. A chapter where everybody said no more. Where we stood united in righteous mission to protect our families and communities and our country. A chapter where future generations will look with pride because we did not let the powerful corrupt and break the spirit of the free silence of the voice of the people. We are not writing the final chapter. Make that clear. We are not writing the final chapter. We are writing a new chapter in the history of this country. A chapter where democracy is not defined by fear, but by freedom. A chapter where our communities are no longer living in the shadows. A chapter where the people rise and justice wins. May we be guided by the passion of those who march before us and the hopes of those who will follow. Let us go forward, united and unafraid. My name is Phil Ramos, and I am the son of this community. And I will never stop fighting for the dignity of every family, no matter their status, no matter their struggle. May God give us the strength to keep marching forward. Let us raise our hands in the air. One collective voice. ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! May God bless you all. ¡Es para adelante que vamos!